Yeah. So today I'll talk about chapter number 2. So I'll talk about chapter number 2, inverse trigonometric functions, right? So I'm talking about today chapter 2, inverse trigonometric functions, right? Yeah. You already studied basic about trigonometric, right? So what is the trigonometric for sin theta, cos theta, tan theta and all you studied, right? For that opposite, exact opposite is called inverse trigonometric, right? For example, I'll say what is that inverse trigonometric, right? So I'll start like this. So for example, sin inverse of x is equal, sin of x is equal to what? I'll take this is called as, okay, theta, right? I take sin x is equal to theta. Then x is equal to what? Sin inverse of theta, right? So or sin theta, just we'll take sin theta is equal to x. So sin theta is equal to x, right? Then theta is equal to what? Sin inverse of x, right? So theta is called as angle. Theta is called as angle and x is called real number, right? So theta is called angle and x is called as a real number. For example, I'll take x is a real number. I'll take, for example, I'll take 1 by 2. So x is a real number. I'll take 1 by 2. So what will become according to this one? Theta is equal to sin inverse of 1 by 2. What is sin inverse of 1 by 2 according to the table, trigonometric table? So we'll get theta is equal to what? So pi by 6. Pi by 6 means what? Sin inverse of 1 by 2 means 30 degree. 30 degree is called as in radian. What will say? So pi. What is pi? Pi is called 180. So 180 by 6. 180 by 6 is called 30 degree. So that can be written as what? Pi by 2. Right? So this is the way you have to find it. Right? So any angle, so any trigonometric, so theta is represented as an angle and x is called as a real number. Right? Suppose I took x is equal to 1 by 2. So substitute theta is equal to sin inverse of 1 by 2. Therefore, angle is exist pi by 2. Right? So what I am saying here, the trigonometric function you know, sin theta is equal to x. Then you have to take exact opposite. So it is real number to angle, angle to real number. That is become what? Inverse trigonometric exist. Same thing happen for sin, cos, tan, right? Yeah. So you know already, right? Sin theta is maximum value is what? 1. Maximum value is 1. What's the minimum value? Minus 1. So this is I'll say called like this. So sin theta is called, maximum is called 1 and minimum is 1. So that is we'll say called as what? We'll say according to your domain. You have to remember this one. So in the exam, they'll ask 1 marks. So what is the principal branch value of along with sine, what is the domain and what is the range, right? So you have to remember sine inverse. So these things are called, we'll say domain. So these things will say called as a range. You have to remember this is called domain. I'll say this is called domain. So domain I'll say this is called domain and this is called, I'll say called range, right? So I have to remember what is sine inverse for domain, minus 1 to 1. Maximum value is 1 and minimum value is 1, minus 1, right? The same way, what is sine inverse of 1? Sine inverse of 1 when will come? It is 90 degree, right? So sine inverse of 1 is what? 90 degree. What is sine inverse of minus 1? Will come minus. What is sine of minus theta? Minus sine theta. According to that, so sine inverse of minus 1 is minus pi by 2. Right? These proofs I'll do later now. Right? Yeah. Now cos inverse. So same thing, minus 1 to 1. What is the maximum value of cos theta? Pi. So pi is called as what? Minus 1. And say called plus 1. What is cos 0? 1. Cos 0 is called as 1. What is cos pi? Cos pi is called minus 1. So what is the domain? Minus 1 to 1. For what is the range? 0 to pi. Right? Then same thing for cosecant. Cosecant is what? A real number other than minus 1 to 1. Minus 1 to 1. Right? A real number other than minus 1 to 1. Here also what? Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Right? Next one. So next I have to go for this one. So what is called here? So this is called as, so we'll say secant inverse. What is secant inverse? So minus real number other than minus 1 to 1. Then implies what? So 0 to pi by 2, 0 to pi and other than pi by 2. That's the meaning. Next, what is the tan inverse? Tan inverse is called real number. Tan and cot is called real number. So implies what's the range? Minus pi by 2 to plus pi 2. So open interval. Open interval means excluding endpoint. For example, I'll say this is called, so I'll take this is called minus pi by 2. So I'll take pi by 2, right? So this I'll take minus pi by 2. So this is called closed bracket. Closed bracket means including endpoint. Including this end point, that is called closed bracket. So these are all including end point. These are all closed bracket also including end point. So we'll say open bracket means excluding end point. Excluding one point means this is a concept. Excluding end point. Excluding end point is called, we'll say open interval, right? For that minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 and to pi. For what? Cot. Right? So these are all I have to remember. What's the domain and what's the range for all trigonometric functions. How many trigonometric functions? There are 6 trigonometric functions. For that, I have to remember what is the domain, what's the range. So these will come for exam 1 marks they'll ask. So 1 marks they'll ask for write the domain for sine inverse, write the domain for secant inverse, or find the range of cot inverse. So guarantee this type they'll ask 1 marks. Right? Yeah. Next one.